What's going on, my crew? This is Jay. Welcome to another episode of Jay's Adventures. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing some planning over here at our main area. I need to make sure that I name it again and remember the name because I don't remember what we've called this. Do I have a sign out somewhere? I have it on a file somewhere of what we named it, but there's a lot of work to be done. We have one side built, but not the other side. And obviously, that's not really acceptable. So I want to not do that today, but rather do that off camera at some point. Today, I really wanted to focus on touching base with you guys and figuring out where we're going to go with this. As the world here kind of transitions and gets bigger and, you know, this stuff expands and all of that good stuff, we're going to have to start to think about layouts, cultures, and all that stuff. And I for the most part, kind of figured out a culture for this. So that's not the question. The question is, how are we going to go about building things? How are we going to go about evolving as time goes on? The history of this place. And I've done quite a lot of research over the past 2 years and continuing on medieval history, antiquity, which Roman antiquity, that means just antique or ancient history, and come up with a lot of ideas and historical things. But one of the things I've never been able to really achieve is planning how things are supposed to go and getting, because you know, you learn about history, you learn about Julius Caesar, but you don't learn about the people, the common people, and how they lived. And I've done a lot of research on that. Coffee. I've done as much research as I can, but I still have never been able to truly figure out how to lay these cities out. And I think what we've got here is really cool. We've got a walled city, but inside the city we've only got a blacksmith in this main area, training, barracks, and then where all the people live. We don't have shops. We don't have the ability for the people to actually run something. So what I've decided to do is to start kind of assigning people professions with each house. And some of these houses may just be farmers. Some of these houses, we're going to add another story. The bottom floor is going to become the shop. The top is going to become the shops, kind of like we have over there. And some people are just going to be farmers. And that's where we're going to put the outside area outside of here. Because as this population grows, they're going to need more food, and they're not going to be able to have gardens like that. They're going to need big fields of potato and carrots and bread and all that stuff. So that's kind of where we're going with that. So today I wanted to hone down a few ideas with you guys on what we're going to do, what we're going to look at. Now, the idea of, say, a blacksmith is not yet around. Why am I getting lag? Let's go and do this. Okay, try that. The idea of a blacksmith is cool, but what we have here is we have somebody that is making tools, making swords and things like that. We don't have a actual, what you would call, blacksmith, because, as I said before, even though, yes, this is an iron block in Minecraft, we're kind of imagining it as maybe tin with copper. So they're making bronze tools, which is what they used to do before iron. Hold on, guys. Hopefully that's better. So yeah, we've got sort of technicalities going on. I went down here and I noticed, I don't know if I did this on camera at all, but I did finish sort of this. I just haven't built the mess hall, and I haven't built any of the rooms. So I want to do that off camera as well. I'm going to work on those two things in particular, as well as getting some yellow stained glass for this area right here. So that stuff's going to get completed. But what I wanted to do, as I said before, is kind of give professions to each one of these people. Most of them are going to be farmers, which means that one of the things I want to do, we're not ready to have them be on the outside yet, but on the inside here, I wanted to get a bucket, and I wanted to start getting more of the wheat growing, which is going to help them to grow, of course. There's that. I got some seeds and a bucket. Alright. So let's go ahead, and I need to get some water. I need to eat. Do I have, like, baked potato or something? Why do I never bring food? I never understand that. Okay. I want to keep the animals free range. I think that is fairly... Well, I guess we could call it culture-based. But I think it's fairly historically accurate. Even though they had animal husbandry, my guess is that most of the time, when the civilization is just starting, I don't think they really grasp the concept of trapping the animals in a specific area. It's better to just have them kind of run around town in the ancient world for your specific farms. I don't know about in a village or a city or how that would work, because you might have people fighting over, well, this one's mine, this one's not his, or whatever you might say. But nevertheless, that's neither here nor there. This is our culture, and it's going to be community based. So if you don't like it, too bad. Alright. Now, I'm hoping that I don't have to till too much of the ground. And I'm hoping they also have seeds and are cultivating. I don't know that there's a farmer. Do we have a farmer that's hanging out over here? Oh, you jerk. Okay. Sorry for that silence. There's a farmer. Let's get him to come over here. I think if I draw him close to the, you need to be careful too, because sometimes they'll run right back. I'm just sort of hoping if I draw him closer to the wheat that he will kind of recognize it as something. Maybe if I jump up here. Let's try pushing him further. Oop. I'm surprised he hasn't jumped up and kind of run off. Why won't you... Why won't you go? Come on. Oh! Crap! Stupid iron golem. Ugh. I didn't mean to hit him, obviously, you jerk. I hate the iron golem. Oh, there's my breastplate. There we go. Okay, so that guy doesn't want to cooperate. Got it. Come on, son. There we go. We also have one other problem. I don't think I have that many seeds. Let me check over here. I've got too many chests full of items that aren't... Ooh, perfect. Okay. We might need to make... And bread. We might need to make... Another hoe, but... I was really hoping to have more levels. So that kind of sucks. Alright. That chicken just seems like he destroyed half of my wheat stuff. Oops. Well, I guess that worked. Ah! Stop it! There we go. Alright, so this is going to be their sustaining food. And eventually, you know, we're going to have plenty for them. Because they don't actually, like, need to consume large amounts. But for the sake of the Let's Play, I want to make sure that we have a large amount of wheat. Now, traditionally in medieval, because we're not in medieval, but it still kind of holds sway for us in some respects, you would actually have in a town like this one, everybody would have their own plot of land that they would be able to cultivate. But also they would have their own community wheat farm plot of land that they would have at their disposal. So they could make sure that they always had food, wheat, which was the sort of staple crop, to eat from, so they would have bread. So kind of where I'm going with this whole thing, I know I'm making a diamond hoe, but we're gonna be doing a lot of tilling, not today, but over time. What was I just saying? Oh, everybody had a community garden, and everybody had their own community wheat. Not a community garden, I'm sorry, personal garden. And a community wheat field that you would have your own strip of wheat that you would cultivate. And then you'd bring that wheat to the miller. He would mill it for you. You make bread out of that. So that's sort of how things progressed. Or you could just buy it from the baker. But most people, I don't think, had a lot of money at their disposal to just buy bread from a baker. So, unless you were a noble person. But the other thing that I want to do at some point is make some manors. So I found out you had a village similar to this, cities on the big end, and then on the smaller end, manors, which were like a big castle or manor house. It's completely and totally surrounded by little tiny huts and things like that for the workers, serfs. So you may be asking, well, Jay, is that exactly what you're going to do? You're going to copy the medieval world? Like, how's this all going to work? No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize that this, first of all, is an ancient civilization world right now. But also, I'm going to use it as idea, fuel to the fire, if you will. Oh, thank God. But I'm also, more importantly, with this, going to adapt the worlds around certain things. So, for instance, this world is more of a, I guess you could call it oligarchy, I think is the right term. The guy here, the king, rules over everything. That's not an oligarchy. Not really a monarchy, despotism type thing. Look it up on Wikipedia. So yeah, the king rules all, and so we're sort of making it into a very different world, kind of like Sparta was. So because of that, we can't use the medieval world or the ancient world because I want it to be a different culture. I want it to be a very different world for all involved. So we've got a much bigger wheat field here, but I also want to continue to make it quite a bit of a wheat field. I want to finish the walls, finish the barracks, so I'm going to be doing that later. But next episode, because I have to record it now, is going to be going back to the other city and talking about what we're going to be doing there differently. So, until then, happy mining and crafting!